Unnatural features, terrifying possessions, and faces straight out of nightmares.
What the is that?
Are these beings masking themselves as humans, or is something actually wrong with these people? Watch till the end. Maybe you'll find the answer. A bizarre clip made its way online, leaving viewers unsettled. It showed a woman sitting on the ground, but if you looked closely, her hands seemed unusually distorted. According to legend, witches appear ordinary at first glance, until you notice something off about their hands or feet. The uploader even claimed he had witnessed this woman fall from a flying broom, suggesting she was stalling by chatting with onlookers who had seen her. Theories spread fast. Some were convinced she was a witch caught off guard, while skeptics dismissed it as nothing more than a staged hoax. Still, the footage raised eyebrows. Divine scare. A man had been driving late at night on a deserted road in Thailand when he suddenly slammed his brakes. An old monk stood right in the middle of the road, pale as chalk, as if he was an apparition. At first, the monk did nothing, just stared at the driver. Then, out of nowhere, he let out this bone-shaking scream and launched himself onto the hood of the car. The man panicked so hard, he sped off, leaving the monk fading in the rear view. Honestly, if something like that happened to me, I'd give up driving at night altogether. Next stretch. Imagine sitting on the subway and witnessing something like this. A guy heading home noticed another passenger dozing off in a strange position, his neck resting on his hand. But the weird part? His neck kept getting longer, stretching little by little like something inside was pulling it down. The clip blew up online, and people had their own wild takes. Some swore it was a skinwalker whose disguise had started slipping. Others thought maybe the man had some unusual condition. Whatever it was, nobody could agree on what they'd actually seen. If this shook you even a little, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Ritual riders.
I am Michael, the all-knowing. I'll change your perspective.
Subways had really turned into stages for strange beings, I guess. These two individuals in NYC caught everyone off guard when they started performing what looked like a ritual right in the middle of a moving train. The woman placed a candle on a symbol the hooded man had drawn onto the subway floor, then started screaming like she was possessed. Her body jerked in these unnatural ways, and the man just stood still as if waiting for something to answer back. People nearby scrambled to find safer spots, not wanting to get involved in whatever was happening. Honestly, imagine seeing something like that on your ride home. Meat aisle. A guy visiting a Walmart near Detroit at night had one of the strangest encounters imaginable. As he approached the meat section, he noticed a man crouched on the floor. At first, it looked odd, but then he realized the man was eating raw meat straight from the package. The scene was disturbing, his movements eerily animal-like, almost zombie. The clip spread online, sparking theories that this man might not have been entirely human. Others took a darker turn, suggesting the possibility of a strange virus making people behave this way. Whatever the truth, it's not something you expect to see during a grocery run. Cursed gaze.
He apologized.
Yeah, I know.
And you know what? That didn't upset me. But
Sorry.
A woman sat in her car when another lady approached and began speaking to her in an unsettling tone. But what truly sent chills down her spine was the woman's appearance. Her eyes looked unnaturally wide, almost bulging from their sockets. Some online compared her disturbing look to Chucky from Child's Play. It was hard to believe this was normal. While a few suggested she might have suffered from a medical condition, others were convinced there was something darker at play. Perhaps a curse, or even demonic possession. Whatever it was, the brief encounter left the driver shaken and the internet buzzing.
I told you to calm down. What I'd like you to do is...
Frozen crowd.
None of them are moving, bro. It's weird as shit.
A guy looked out of his apartment window and saw something strange, so he started filming. A group of people stood completely still in the middle of the street. No movement, no sound, just frozen. Curious, he went down to see what was happening. As he approached, one of them suddenly twitched, lifting their hand in a slow, zombie-like motion. Before he could react, something even stranger happened. He froze too, joining the group as if under the same trance. The video ended there, leaving people online terrified. Was this some kind of possession, or a glitch in the Matrix that caught him mid-reality? What do you think happened here?
It's weird as shit.
He's at the bottom of this.
That is weird.
Pale Quartet.
Attendez, c'est parce que j'ai oublié de prier là.
This guy had been taking a quiet stroll through his local woods when he ran into something straight out of a nightmare. 4 figures stood ahead of him, skin ghastly pale, faces identical, even their clothes matching perfectly. They looked like they'd stepped out of another planet, or another time entirely. At first, they just stared, inching closer with these slow, eerie movements. Then suddenly, they broke into a full sprint toward him. The feed cut mid-run, leaving everyone wondering what happened next. Some viewers believed he'd stumbled onto an ancient, surviving tribe, while others thought he accidentally slipped into the past. Demonic passenger. A passenger on a train captured something truly unsettling. He claimed an old man across from him began growling, deep, guttural, and disturbingly inhuman. The footage backed his story. The man behaved in an almost primal way. Passengers kept their distance, unsure if he was dangerous or simply unwell. Online, theories flooded in. Some said he was possessed by a demon, others thought it was rabies. But a few believed something far darker, that he wasn't human at all, but a reptilian disguise malfunctioning in plain sight. Whatever it was, the sound alone was enough to haunt anyone who heard it. Blanked out. A cab driver had picked up a passenger late at night, cruising along empty roads, when something truly unnerving happened. On a lonely stretch, a man stood motionless by the roadside. At first, the driver thought he was a hitchhiker, until he got closer. The figure's eyes had no pupils, just blank, milky white staring into nothing. He just stood there unblinking. The driver's stomach dropped. The image burned into his mind forever. When the clip surfaced online, netizens were convinced it was a zombie sighting. Some even wondered, was this the first sign of a real apocalypse? Eye shift. This TV clip of a reporter had gone viral. And honestly, for good reason. People kept replaying it just to make sure they actually saw what they thought they saw. The skin around the woman's right eye shifted, turned murky, almost greenish, like her reptilian self was slipping through for a split second. It happened fast, barely noticeable unless you slowed the clip down, but it was long enough for viewers to feel something was deeply off. Whatever that moment was, it didn't look human, and everyone felt it. Here's another reporter clip, this time on a baseball field. Everything looked normal, until her face suddenly started glitching in a way that didn't look human at all. Some viewers blamed the camera, but others were convinced they had caught a full reptilian glitch on live TV. Ceiling stand. Sometimes exorcisms make demons react in strange ways, but nothing compared to this. A professional was called in to exorcise a girl her family believed was possessed. Everything seemed normal at first, just quiet chanting and prayers, until something horrifying happened. The girl suddenly floated upward, slow at first, then fast, until her feet pressed flat against the ceiling like gravity had flipped just for her. She hung there upside down, body rigid, eyes staring ahead like she wasn't even present anymore. The entire room panicked while the priest kept praying. The clip spread online and left people completely creeped out by what they'd just witnessed. Haunted suite. This couple had been staying in a hotel suite rumored to be haunted, but of course, nobody takes those warnings seriously. Until something actually happens. The woman woke up and got out of bed, but something about her movements felt wrong. Her lamp flickered violently as she walked, like she was sleepwalking, stiff and unnatural. She wandered into the bathroom, stared into the mirror, then jerked her head back and forth as if something else controlled her. She kept acting strange, and viewers who saw the clip were convinced the suite was truly haunted. Was this a spirit possessing her? Let me know your take. Porch horror. A man exploring an abandoned property had one of the strangest encounters of his life. As he approached a decaying house, he noticed a figure crouched on all fours on the porch, but the face was the real nightmare. Its grin revealed unnaturally sharp teeth stretching almost to the cheeks, with dark patches surrounding the eyes. The unsettling sight froze him in place. Later, when the clip surfaced online, opinions split sharply. Some argued it had to be a person in an elaborate costume, while others insisted it was something far more sinister. Perhaps a creature seeking shelter in the abandoned home. Doorface.
What are you doing?
A couple was messing around and recording each other when things took a terrifying turn. As the girl shut the door and zoomed in on the glass panel, a horrifying face appeared staring right back at her. It looked like a ghostly woman, pale, distorted, and way too close for comfort. Their laughter stopped instantly. And honestly, after seeing that, I'd say lock your doors tight tonight, and maybe don't look outside once the lights are off.
What if there was just like a face right there?
Unsettling appeal. You don't need to ask why this footage creeped people out. A man filmed himself in a car, addressing Elon Musk, saying he desperately wanted to meet him. But it wasn't just what he said, it was how he looked. His face twisted into strange, unsettling expressions, his features oddly brutish, like someone from another time. Viewers were instantly disturbed, some saying his energy felt unstable, others convinced he wasn't entirely human. The eerie tone of his voice and his intense stare made the video almost unbearable to watch. And honestly, just imagine running into someone like that alone, late at night. That thought alone is enough to send chills down your spine. Hands-free climber. This clip had gone viral for the strangest reason. People gathered around just to watch this random guy who suddenly started climbing a tree without using his hands at all. He just lifted his feet and went up step by step, like the trunk had become a staircase, without struggling or hesitating. Viewers couldn't explain how he pulled that off, but whatever it was, it didn't look normal at all. Tunnel chase. The live started with a man's unsettling grin filling the frame. No intro, no explanation, just him silently filming two girls walking into a tunnel. They didn't even know he was there. Then the camera flipped. He was smiling wider now and started running after them. Every viewer could feel the panic through the screen. The chat flooded with warnings, confusion, and disbelief. Luckily, the girls escaped before he caught up. But whether it was a prank or something darker, the stream left people with one thought. This was anything but normal. Peeking stranger. No one likes late-night stalkers, but this guy dealt with something even worse. He noticed someone peeking over the wall of his house, watching him from the darkness. At first, he thought he was imagining it, but when he zoomed in, a pale woman's face stared straight at him, expressionless and unsettling. People online were split. Some said it was just a terrifying person lurking outside, while others insisted it had to be an apparition. Either way, no one wanted to be in his place that night. dark mystery.
What the is that? Do you see that right there? Do you see that?
A guy driving at night was suddenly caught off guard by someone standing on the side of the road. It appeared to be a man, but his face looked off. Not quite human, almost like a mask, but with features too smooth and strange to place. The figure seemed to stare directly at the driver, sending chills down his spine. Netizens had theories. One joked he looked like a skin-colored Elmo. Others believed it had to be a mask. But why wear something like that in the middle of nowhere? With no further context and no one coming forward, the clip remained a mystery, and a creepy one at that.
But they got like some weird mask or something. What the is that?
Headless customer. A street surveillance camera had captured something honestly terrifying. A delivery boy arrived with an order, just doing his normal rounds, when he suddenly froze. Walking up to collect the food was a woman, only she had no head, no mask, no trick, nothing. She simply took the order like it was the most normal thing ever. The poor delivery boy bolted the second it left his hands. Meanwhile, the headless woman just turned and walked away calmly. Whether it was a bizarre prank or an actual headless entity, no one had a clue what they had just witnessed. Turn around. In many Asian cultures, there's a witch that appears out of nowhere and can turn her head a full 360 degrees. Most thought it was just a myth, until this video surfaced. An amateur adventurer was exploring the woods with a friend when they stumbled across a woman in white, standing still among the trees. Curious, and probably thinking it was just a hiker, he approached, filming everything. But the woman didn't turn to acknowledge them. She just stood there, silent. Then, suddenly, she screamed. A high-pitched, bone-chilling shriek that sent both men running. But rewind for a second. Just before the camera panned out, her head turned, almost fully around. Some netizens were convinced that it wasn't a person, it was a witch. Gym possession. A short but unsettling clip filmed at an outdoor gym had viewers completely baffled. A woman was moving violently on one of the machines, her mouth wide open like she was frozen in shock. Her companion noticed immediately, stepping away with this horrified look before leaving altogether, while the woman just kept going in the same disturbing rhythm. The video ended with no explanation, which made people speculate even more. Some were convinced she looked possessed or trapped in a trance-like state. Others suggested it could have been a medical emergency, or maybe the whole thing was staged. Whatever the truth was, her rigid posture and blank expression made the video incredibly creepy. Window stalker.
ครับทุกคนครับวันนี้มาทำงานที่ต่างจังหวัดนะครับมาเล่นตลก
This guy had been doing a casual live stream, chatting away, completely unaware that someone else was in the frame with him. It wasn't until his viewers started blowing up the comments that he realized he wasn't alone. Behind him, in the window, a woman's face stared inside with wide, unblinking eyes. The expression never changed, just pure, empty staring. People immediately started speculating. Some said it had to be a mannequin placed there as a prank. Others insisted it looked too real and too still to be human. A few even suggested it was a ghost, which would explain why he never noticed her.
ก็มานั่งอยู่ในห้องก็
Looped.
I don't have nothing for you. Give my car.
A woman sat in her car with a friend in a parking lot when something unsettling unfolded. A man approached her vehicle and began acting strangely, repeating the same motion again and again, his mouth locked in a wide O. It was as if he were stuck in a loop, frozen in a moment that wouldn't end. Disturbed, she recorded the scene and later posted it online. Her followers were divided. Some believed the man was glitching, others suspected a deeper mental disturbance. Either way, the moment was impossible to forget.
What is he doing with his hands? Oh my god.
Unholy dance. While some might have taken it as a joke, it was hard to ignore the unsettling nature of the clip. The man danced playfully, but his expression didn't match his movements at all. His eyes were wide, almost bulging, and there was a wild, unhinged look on his face. Many believed he was mentally unstable, but others claimed he was possessed by something dark, something evil. Rolled eyes.
Do you know who it is? Yeah, what's his name?
These guys were casually talking to a woman out in public when something strange happened. Mid-conversation, her eyes suddenly rolled all the way back, leaving only the whites visible. For a brief moment, she looked completely possessed. The clip quickly went viral, leaving people divided. Some claimed it was a medical issue, while others insisted she wasn't entirely human. Whatever the case, that brief moment was enough to send chills down everyone's spine. What do you think? Possession or something far stranger? Vanished Cruncher.
Why is this guy doing crunches?
A woman and her friend had been driving home when they filmed something bizarre. A man was lying in the middle of the road doing crunches like it was a gym floor. They laughed in disbelief, but when the camera panned back just seconds later, the man was nowhere. Not walking away, not hiding, just gone. Viewers called it proof of a glitch in reality, while others thought it was just clever editing, but a few people suggested something far darker. Maybe the man actually teleported. Whatever happened, it became one of the strangest disappearances caught on camera.
Where is he? Where is he? Ah! Oh no, he ran away! Where is he? It's because you said that. He's gone. Wait, where'd he go?
Church possession. During a local church gathering, a woman suddenly began acting strangely. She swayed side to side, her gaze fixed on something far beyond the human world. Then, out of nowhere, she started laughing that made those around her step back. The priest quickly approached, placing his hand on her head as if performing an exorcism. But instead of calming, her movements grew more violent, her expression more twisted, as though whatever was inside her refused to leave. Some in the room prayed aloud, convinced they were witnessing a genuine possession. Others have since wondered if the girl ever truly recovered, or if the darkness still lingers within her. Bent crawler. Man, this one had me double-checking my own cameras. A guy had been reviewing his home security footage when he spotted something crawling outside his house. At first, it looked like some unidentified creature moving on all fours in this weird, broken way, almost like it wasn't built right. But halfway through its walk, the thing slowly pushed itself upright, and that's when he realized it was a man. A man bent completely backwards, walking on both his hands and feet like some twisted spider. The guy swore this wasn't human at the start, convinced he had captured a real skinwalker shifting mid-walk on camera. Possessed shopper. You never know when your grocery run might turn paranormal, like these shoppers found out. Near the cashier, a woman suddenly began screaming at the top of her lungs, clutching and squeezing the scarf around her neck. Moments later, she stumbled forward, moving as if all her strength had drained away. The unsettling scene left witnesses frozen, some convinced they were watching a full-blown demonic possession unfold in the middle of the store. Online, theories were split. Some claimed it was a supernatural attack, while others suggested it could have been a severe panic episode or mental breakdown. Cave Witch. These men stumbled upon something chilling deep inside a dark cave. Sitting in complete silence was a woman clutching a strange handmade doll. At first, it seemed odd, but the longer they watched, the more disturbing it became. In many black magic rituals, isolation is said to be necessary to connect with Jinn. That doll she held wasn't a toy. It was believed to be a magical vessel, representing a victim to harm or control from afar. The woman, now being called the witch, never spoke. As their flashlight hit her pale face, her presence grew even more unsettling, leaving the men shaken as they quickly backed away. Cursed elevator? Unsettling security footage uploaded online had left viewers shaken. A woman stood alone in an elevator when suddenly a man rushed in holding a stool. His movements were jerky, his expression panicked as he raised the stool like a weapon, defending himself from something unseen. The woman pressed into the corner, visibly terrified as the ride dragged on. At one point, the stool seemed to be yanked from his hands by an invisible force, though skeptics argued he threw it himself. When the doors opened, the man bolted, leaving the woman shaken but unharmed. Many compared the eerie clip to the infamous elevator game, a ritual said to open doorways to another dimension. Gwalior Scare. Tucked away in the hills of northern India, the Gwalior Fort draws visitors from all over for its stunning architecture and deep history. One couple came for just that, beauty and heritage. But what they left with was a ghost story. As they wandered through the fort's shadowy halls, they captured a quick video. Rewatching it later, something caught their eye. Did you see that? Just behind the woman, a figure had appeared. A woman with long, ragged hair covering her face, gone in a blink. Locals whisper that spirits of tortured prisoners still roam these halls. Was this one of them finally seen? Or another tourist mistaken for a ghost? Hallway shift. A strange video has been circulating online, leaving many questioning whether skinwalkers might actually be real. Surveillance footage from a hotel showed a waitress walking down the hallway when she suddenly slipped and fell. But at the very moment she hit the floor, her body appeared to morph into a dog. The bizarre transformation stunned netizens, with some insisting it was a skinwalker caught in the act. Others weren't so sure, debating whether it could be a clever edit or camera glitch. Either way, the unsettling thought lingers. You never truly know if the person beside you is human. Subway possession. A shocking clip recorded inside a subway left people unsettled. A man suddenly threw himself onto the floor, lying on his stomach. He began shaking his head violently, making eerie rasping sounds. Before writhing and crawling forward, his arms stiffly pressed to his sides. Without warning, he stood back up, continuing the strange act while letting out disturbing noises. Commuters around him were clearly alarmed, but no one dared approach. Some speculated it was the result of heavy drug use, while others whispered about demonic possession, or perhaps something even darker. What do you think was really happening here? Laser look. Sometimes, strange people are around us without us even realizing it. Just like during a UFC match, when the crowd was fully focused on the fight, a woman in the audience suddenly caught attention. Her eyes began to glow in a way that felt completely unnatural, almost as if something else had taken over her body.
I don't even know what that is. That woman is straight up possessed. That's just possession eyes.
Who she really was, or what was happening with her, no one could explain. And to this day, it remains a mystery. Cursed woman. A strange clip that circulated online showed a pedestrian spotting a woman acting oddly on the curb. Curious, he began recording. She seemed to be speaking to something invisible, or perhaps to herself, but there was something deeply unsettling about her presence. Her hair was ragged, and when she turned toward him, her skin appeared ghostly pale. Without warning, she bolted straight at the man, charging like someone possessed. The footage spread quickly, with many in the comments comparing her to a Japanese legend, the woman who carved eerie smiles into the faces of her victims. Hopefully, the man managed to escape unharmed. Vampire Alley. A street surveillance camera captured something that looked straight out of myth. Two men were seen walking down a quiet alleyway. Nothing unusual, until the security guard reviewing the footage decided to zoom in. That's when things got strange. The figures had unusually long, pointed ears, dark, sunken eyes, and oddly elongated noses. Their appearance closely resembled the old-school depictions of vampires found in folklore and classic films. Some brushed it off as a Halloween prank or eerie masks, but others weren't so sure. Believers in the paranormal were quick to claim it as real evidence. Vampires, casually strolling among us, caught in a rare moment of carelessness. Real or not, the footage was haunting. Window corpse. This guy had been waiting for his DoorDash when he heard a knock on his door.
I ordered DoorDash, and I heard it knock.
He checked the window, but no one was standing at the front door. Instead, directly across the street, he spotted something terrifying staring straight into his window. It looked like a decaying corpse had decided to drop by for a visit. The guy freaked out instantly, trying to figure out how this zombie-looking figure managed to knock while standing so far away.
So curly.
People online argued about it too. Some said it had to be a ghost. Others claimed the creature had some kind of supernatural ability. Whatever it was, it felt wrong.
Oh my god, she's still standing there.
Super catch.
I mean, I love our chances. You know, it's been.
This viral clip showed a baseball player being interviewed when a ball suddenly came flying toward him. Without even turning around or looking at the field, he reached out and caught it with one hand, like he had seen it coming the whole time. His back had been completely turned to the game, which made everyone question how he reacted that fast. People insisted it wasn't just skill. He had to possess some kind of superhuman awareness to pull off a catch like that. Many viewers were convinced he was blessed with a supernatural sense rather than regular athletic reflexes. Thank you very much for watching the video. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.